Today's headline, Go Duterte lead all PDP list. House wants OCTA probe. Palace on ECQ, government agencies must function. Online phonies cost Philippines $213 million in taxes. Marcial, Paalam, gun for final spot. PNP to probe hoarding of oxygen tanks, medical supplies. International Monetary Fund earmarks $2.79 billion for war versus pandemic. U.S. rebuffs call for COVID buster jab moratorium as China curbs travel. Durant leads USA into Olympic semis. Gorio now out of Philippine area of responsibility. Good morning, I am Venice Bautista and you are watching Tribune News on Q. Today is Thursday, August 5, 2021, and here are the news of the hour. A Go Duterte tandem loomed in the PDP laban on Wednesday as it is poised to field a roster of purely party members for the May 9, 2022 elections. Before the presidential candidacy of Senator Christopher Lawrence Bongo and the vice presidential bid of incumbent President Rodrigo Duterte became official, however, they must first get the endorsement of the party members when they hold a national convention set early next month. It's expected to be a breeze for them though, as the PDP laban is also no longer expected to tap non-members to fill its 12 senatorial slots. It was during this meeting when the possible bets for the presidency and the vice presidency were raised. Duterte's possible VP run is not expected to be contested by the party members. However, as he was asked to seek the country's second highest post at the end of his 6-year term as president by the party members themselves via a resolution. Go is also not likely to have an opponent within the party, as it was Duterte himself who first asked Go to run for president. Referred to Go as my president during an event in Cagayan de Oro City in March this year. Go has repeatedly said that he is not interested in running for president. OCTA Research, the group that releases data on COVID-19 but also dabbles in politics, now seems to be in trouble. No less than 5 lawmakers in the House of Representatives on Wednesday pushed to investigate OCTA's qualifications and background days after its statements had been questioned by some government officials as they usually clash within the official line. House Resolution 2075 is urging the House Committee on Good Government and Public Accountability to launch a probe in aid of legislation. The Solons urged the panel to determine the organization's qualifications, research methodologies, partnerships, and composition used in the data and forecasts on the pandemic situation in the Philippines since last year. It specifically cited the claims of infectious diseases Dr. Edsel Salvana, who called OCTA's projections problematic and are allegedly based on incomplete and erroneous data considering the backlogs in COVID-19 tests. Lawmakers also pointed out the need to validate the affiliation of OCTA Research with the University of the Philippines system, as the former publicized a partnership which the latter seemingly denied. Malacanang on Wednesday ordered all government agencies in Metro Manila to remain fully operational despite using a skeleton workforce during the 2-week hard lockdown. In Memorandum Circular 87 issued by Executive Secretary Salvador Medialdea, all government agencies and instrumentalities of the executive branch in the National Capital Region shall remain functioning with less than 20% workforce from 6th to 20th of August. However, government agencies that provide health and emergency frontline services, laboratory and testing services, border control, and other critical services will be allowed to have full on-site capacity. The memorandum also strongly urged offices of the legislative and judicial branches of government, independent constitutional commissions and bodies, and local government units in the NCR to adopt the circular. Senate President Vicente Soto previously announced that the Senate will not be holding plenary sessions from the 9th to 23rd of August due to the lockdown, and Soto, however, said committee hearings may proceed but must be done purely online. The House of Representatives will also suspend its plenary sessions for the duration of the enhanced community quarantine in Metro Manila, according to Speaker Alan Velasco. E-commerce platforms bridging mostly home-quarantined Filipinos and the market at the height of the pandemic are now more exposed to pirates and counterfeiters, and the Intellectual Property Office of the Philippines warned on Wednesday. In Daily Tribune's digital show Straight Talk, IPOPHIL's Enforcement Office Intellectual Property Specialist Ace Acosta said reports against counterfeit products have soared to 121 cases in 2020 compared to just 100 from 2016 to 2019. Acosta expressed that these reports mean more Filipinos are now alert about these cases and that they want to protect their IP. The IPOPHIL's official said that based on a study by their European Union and Asian counterparts, upsurge in counterfeiting and piracy have already cost the Philippines $213 million in uncollected taxes. With this, Acosta urged business owners, especially those in starting up, who experience counterfeiting and piracy to file a complaint to the IPOPHIL, either via direct message, through their Facebook page, or call directly to IPOPHIL's hotline or through the direct line of IPOPHIL's Enforcement Office available on the internet. Meanwhile, lawyer Daniel Hofilenya advised consumers to be meticulous in transacting online by scrutinizing the products and brands they are purchasing. This January to June 2021, the IPOPHIL received more than 100 reports and complaints pertaining to counterfeiting and piracy, 84% of which were transacted online. This proves that IP criminals are indeed attacking the digital space. Tribune News on Q will be back after these reminders.
Fiber is the free and secure way to connect with friends and family, anywhere. Send messages and make phone and video calls for free. Download Fiber now.
We are back, and in sports news, Marcial and Carlo Paalam tackle a pair of equally determined rivals today, armed with sheer power and doggedness to make it to the gold medal round of the Tokyo Olympics and occupy a revered spot in Philippine sports history. Marcial collides with dangerous Alexander Kizhniak of Ukraine in the men's middleweight semifinals at 2:03 p.m., while Paalam confronts Ryome Tanaka of Japan in a bid to advance to the men's flyweight finals at 1:03 p.m. at the Kokugikan Arena. The Filipino boxers are coming in very hungry. Marcial, for one, has underscored his hunger to deliver the first boxing gold that the country already missed 3 times. First was when Anthony Villanueva lost to Stanislav Stefashkin of the Soviet Union in Tokyo in 1964. Second was when Mansueto Onyok Velasco yielded to Daniel Petrov of Bulgaria in Atlanta in 1996. And third was when Nesty Petesho bowed to Sena Irie of Japan last Thursday. But Marcial's road to the gold will never be easy because armed with a 109-13 record, Kizniak has been on a winning streak for the past 5 years, while Marcial was a blowing hot and cold inside and outside the ring, while Marcial was flirting with the idea of turning professional. Kizniak, a right-hander, has been unbeaten in 61 bouts and had won countless of accolades like the 2017 World Championship in Hamburg, 2017 European Championships in Kharkiv, 2019 European Games, and most recently the European Olympic Qualification Tournament in London. Still, National Training Director Don Abnett of Australia believes that the Ukrainian, who had already beaten Marcial and other top fighters in the powerhouse middleweight class, is destructible. National Police Chief General Guillermo Eleazar tasked police units and offices to investigate and be vigilant against the possible hoarding of oxygen tanks and other medical supplies amid the continuing threat of COVID-19. Eleazar issued the order after Cebu City Vice Mayor Michael Rama called on the police and the Department of Trade and Industry to look into the supposed hoarding of oxygen tanks in his locality. Eleazar said the PNP will also check if oxygen tanks and medical supplies are also being hoarded in Metro Manila and other parts of the country. He urged the public to not hoard such items as people's lives are on the line. The Duterte administration's liquidity and fiscal standing got a significant boost after the International Monetary Fund allocated $2.75 billion in special drawing rights as part of the IMF's allocation of $650 billion SDR to save the global economy and bolster the post-COVID-19 recovery. The $650 billion SDR issuance will deliver almost $400 billion in added reserves to the world's wealthiest economies, $230 billion to middle-income countries, and $21 billion to low-income countries. Philippine officials have claimed that the government is facing difficulties meeting the costs of much-needed financial aid for Filipinos during the COVID-19 pandemic. The SDR are something that the government can dip into. With the approval of the SDR allocation, the Philippines is set to receive $2.79 billion worth of SDR. Oxfam International calculated this amount based on the quota share that the Philippines has in the IMF, which is 0.43%. Just 1% of people in low-income countries have been vaccinated, while emergency measures to cushion the impact of the pandemic have expired with few resources to replace them. The IMF's quota system reproduces the global financial system's gaping inequalities. More than 60% of SDR will accrue to rich countries, while low-income countries will get just 3%. Meanwhile, the United States rejected an appeal from the UN Health Agency on Wednesday for a moratorium on COVID-19 vaccine booster shots, while China tightened overseas travel curbs after recording its highest number of infections in 6 months. The World Health Organization said halting booster shots until at least the end of September would help ease the drastic inequity in dose distribution between rich and poor nations and help find a pandemic that has killed more than 4.2 million people worldwide. But Washington swiftly shot the proposal down. The WHO said the moratorium would help towards the goal of vaccinating at least 10% of every country's population by the end of September. At least 4.27 billion doses have been administered globally so far, according to an AFP count. In countries categorized as high income by the World Bank, 101 doses per 100 people have been injected. But in the 29 lowest income countries, that figure drops to just 1.7 doses per 100 people. Highly vaccinated Israel began rolling out a booster shot for over 60s last month, while Germany said Tuesday it would start offering third doses from September. However, WHO Vaccines Chief Kate O'Brien said there was no convincing evidence yet as to whether booster doses were actually necessary. We will be back. Stay with us.
Every time I'm on the road, I can expect high performance from Phoenix Fuels. Now with Pulse technology, delivers enhanced power and acceleration to make every trip come alive.
With Globe, our steps can lead us to millions of doors opening, millions of paths unfolding, and millions of reasons to keep going. Now's the time to be with a network that gets better every day for you.
Manong Joe po,
At Ate Maita,
ngayong Hunyo, bahagyang tumaas ng 8 centavos per kilowatt hour ang overall electricity rates. Ito'y dahil sa dagdag singil sa WESM.
alam niyo ba, pwede kayong i-update ng Meralco sa text or sa email gaya ni Sarah G. Sisendan kayo ng advanced updates tulad ng upcoming bill details. Di na kayo kakaba-kaba sa paghihintay ng bills. At anumang mangyari sa bill, masira, mabasa, o mawala, no problem. To get updates, i-update ang inyong contact information sa Facebook Messenger, meralco.com.ph, email, hotline 16211 o Meralco Business Centers.
Handa kami makipag-ugnayan sa inyo para makapaghatid ng mas mabuti, mabilis, at pagkinhawang serbisyo.
Hanggang sa susunod na
Meralco Advisory.
Welcome back. You're still watching Tribune News on Q. And now for our Olympics update. The United States kept their basketball gold medal dreams on track Tuesday by sweeping past world champions Spain 95-81 and into the semifinals, while Olympic debutant Slovenia crushed Germany to set up at last for clash with France. Sharpshooting Brooklyn Nets star Kevin Durant poured in 29 points and 4 assists for the Americans, while Boston's Jason Tatum chipped in with 13. Nullifying Ricky Rubio's dazzling 38 points spree for Spain. The three-time defending champions will next face Patty Mills Australia, who convincingly beat Argentina 97-59 for a place in Saturday's final. World number 3 Australia are yet to finish on the podium at the Olympic Games, despite contesting the bronze medal match on 4 occasions. But with NBA stars like Mills and Joe Ingles in their ranks, they believe they have enough firepower to break the drought in Japan. Slovenia progressed on the back of 27 points from Zoran Dragic and another 20 from Dallas Mavericks star Luka Doncic in their 94-70 rout of Germany. They will meet France, who edged Italy 84-75 in a nail-biter, with Utah Jazz center Rudy Gobert drilling 22 points and fellow NBA mainstay Evan Fournier getting 21. And now for our weather update. Tropical depression Gorio is now outside the Philippine area of responsibility, according to the Philippine Atmospheric, Geophysical, and Astronomical Services Administration. Pag-asa added that Gorio was located at 760 kilometers northeast of Itbayat, Batanes, and on the other hand, monsoon rains will continue to affect Ilocos Norte, Ilocos Sur, Apayao, Abra, Batanes, and Babuyan Islands. The Weather Bureau warned of possible flash floods or landslides during scattered to widespread, moderate to at times heavy rains. While Metro Manila, rest of Ilocos Region, rest of Cordillera Administrative Region, rest of Cagayan, Zambales, Bataan, Tarlac, Pampanga, Bulacan, Cavite, Batangas, and Occidental Mindoro will experience cloudy skies with scattered rain showers and thunderstorms. The rest of the country will be partly cloudy to cloudy skies with isolated rain showers or thunderstorms. Temperature will range from 27.6 degrees Celsius to 31.7 degrees Celsius. And that wraps up our stories for this morning. And before we go, we would like to thank SM Store, Araneta Center, the Department of Tourism, MG Motors, Hina Motors, Security Bank, and Overseas Community Affairs Council Alan Lin of Republic of China for their continued support. Again, this is Venice Bautista, and this is Tribune News on Q. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay at home. Good morning.
Catch the latest news on our website tribune.net.ph and follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel, Tribune Now. The Daily Tribune is one with the nation in facing the COVID-19 crisis, and in line with this, the Daily Tribune digital edition and press reader is now available for free online. You can also download the Daily Tribune app on Apple Store for iOS users and Google Play for Android users to get the latest and most comprehensive news online. Daily Tribune is also inviting everyone to join its community Viber Katribu to get updates on the freshest and hottest news and entertainment stories of the day. Tarcito emoticons are also available on our community Viber. Just click on the link in this video to join.